as they routinely mispronounce in America, Hyundai, or as we say conventionally here in Australia, Hyundai, has just done the hair and makeup on the popular Tucson and Santa Fe SUVs, medium and large respectively, in the range. Tucson is a little bit cheaper now, unfortunately. Santa Fe is ever so slightly more expensive. They've done various wonder bra, this and that in product planning to change minor details. They're having another crack with their smartphone-based digital key, which, let's face it, couldn't work out worse than the first go at it, could it? So that's kind of uplifting, but tantalisingly enough, there's a brand new colour grey on offer, as well as the prospect of, quote, "be still my beating heart," a pearl finish. Who doesn't want one of those? In fact, I asked Pearl about that earlier, and she informs me that this is a real bargain because generally that kind of thing costs extra. Tucson and Santa Fe, so important not to get wrong for Hyundai, especially seeing as here in Australia there appears to be renewed interest in taking the fight to little sister and arch enemy, Kia. Kia's still in front though, 48,152 sales so far this year versus Hyundai on 45,635. That's till the end of July, so we're just on the cusp of a new month worth of sales figures being released in the next week or so. For the month just gone, 7,400-ish for Kia versus 6,700-ish for Hyundai. So K backwards N still in front, but the gap is shrinking. This is pretty impressive though, because the market overall is down 2.7% year to date. So bucking a bit of a trend there. So anyway, what's happening with Santa Fe and Tucson? So the press release says, quote, "along with Digital Key 2, which couldn't be worse than Digital Key 1 when you think about it, which brings the convenience of entry and starting using a smartphone, or in the case of Digital Key 1, only sometimes and only for some phones, it seems. We'll get to that. 2026 Tucson presents an updated colour palette and 17-inch alloys for the range opener. Imagine that. With unique wheel designs for each powertrain. That's one for the train spotters, isn't it? Ah, yes, that's a hybrid. I can tell by the wheels kind of thing. In an evolution towards increasingly sustainable and efficient powertrains, I wish they wouldn't do this with the sustainable bizzo. Like, what are we doing at the end of life of all of these cars with batteries in them, right? Until we get that sorted and we account for the extra materials and the greater complexity of hybrids, let us just put sustainability over to one side and concentrate instead on efficiency, shall we? The 2026 model lineup shifts to being predominantly hybrid. Well, that makes sense because there is preposterous growth in hybrids generally. In Australia, this is despite no government incentivisation. The market is kind of voting with its wallet and preferring hybrids because you get the greater efficiency and you haven't got to do military-style special ops planning to worry about recharging. Right? It's just a really simple solution. And to me, it's more rational as well, right? We can do hybrids now. They're a benefit now. We just don't have our shit together for EVs yet. That's kind of the way it is. Shifts predominantly to hybrid, with the 2-litre MPI continuing as the only petrol option, and the 1.6 turbo direct injection has been discontinued, which seems a shame to me because that was a red-hot engine in Tucson. I always liked that. Anyway, things move on. 2026 Tucson, they say, is offered in a continuing 3-trim lineup. So poverty, mid-spec, range topper. Makes sense. With the N-Line option pack now exclusively offered for the elite and premium trims, revised pricing sees the 2026 Tucson deliver greater value and an even more compelling medium SUV package, they say, with reductions ranging from $1,000 to $2,500 depending on the variant. That's pretty good in a quote-unquote cost of living crisis, I suppose. This report is sponsored by NordVPN. Get a mega discount plus 4 extra months of Nord for free now in my exclusive deal. Go to nordvpn.com/AEJC. Online security threats are everywhere, but you don't have to be the next victim. That's where NordVPN comes in, locking everything down securely in the background. Go to nordvpn.com/AEJC now. Every 2-year NordVPN plan receives that mega discount with the 4 free months and a bonus Amazon gift card on the Plus and Complete Nord packages for a limited time only. nordvpn.com/AEJC. Using NordVPN is easy. Just subscribe, download the app and connect. 1 click later, your IP address is shielded and your traffic is encrypted across as many as 6 of your devices. Nord is the fastest VPN on the planet. It costs only about as much as a single cup of coffee every month to keep your data, your identity, and your devices secure. Masking your location means you'll be able to access content that might be blocked where you live. Plus, you can continue to watch your favourite content when you travel. Boost your online security at nordvpn.com/AEJC now. Get that mega discount, enjoy those extra 4 months, plus the free Amazon gift card with the Plus and Complete packages for a limited time. It's all totally risk-free with Nord's rock-solid 30-day money-back guarantee. It's easy to stay safe online. Visit nordvpn.com/AEJC now. They say 2026 Tucson also sees the introduction of a new exterior colour, which is called Ecotronic Grey. Little something from the intern there, I hope, which is offered, they say, in a pearl finish across the range and as a matte finish exclusively for N-Line variants. Other minor colour palette tweaks include the discontinuation of Titan Grey Metallic, so we've added a grey and taken a grey away. Well done. And matte paint finishes now exclusive to premium and N-Line variants. Meanwhile, the 2026 Santa Fe is offered in a continuing feature-rich 3-trim lineup, so also poverty mid-spec and top-spec. Simple enough even for an median Australian to understand ranges like that, I'd suggest. Also with Hyundai Digital Key 2 as standard, along with 18-inch alloys for the range opener with unique wheel designs for the 2.5-litre turbo direct-injected petrol engine and hybrid powertrain. So once again, train spot the variant by wheel. There you go. 2026 Santa Fe pricing increases by $400 across the range. So $400 up for Santa Fe, $1,000 to $2,500 down for Tucson. Every good press release, of course, places terrible demands on the man at the top who has to come up with a compelling grab, no matter how mediocre the announcement. In this case, I'm talking about Pizza Man himself, who has a more grandiose title as well. Hyundai Motor Company Australia Chief Executive Officer, has to have a horizontal business card for that. Don Romano, who could have been a mafia hitman, but has to exist here and now, only with a pizza named after him, seemingly. What is in a Romano pizza, I wonder? What would be the ideal ingredients for a Romano pizza? Death adder, broken glass, and double cheese, I'd suggest. Anyway, Pizza Man says, we're excited to introduce our updated 2026 Santa Fe Tucson lineups, which deliver enhanced appeal and value in the ever-popular medium and large SUV segments. 27-word sentence there. Well done, Pizza Man. Can he improve on that? I think so. Quote, substantial price reductions for the newly hybrid-focused 2026 Tucson range and the convenience of Hyundai Digital Key 2 as standard for both models ensures these SUVs continue as... Just knocked my cap for the next package off its resting place with that one. That wasn't in the script, I tell you. Continue as compelling family vehicles in a competitive marketplace. 35-word sentence there. I'd say when it comes to sentences, Pizza Man, less is more, dude. But I do want to see you one day just erupt without warning out of the corner office with a megaphone and ejaculate those words all over the senior executive management team with absolutely no context. Just belt it out like, I don't know, Whitney frickin' Houston or something, and then walk unceremoniously back into your office and slam the door and see what they make of that, dude. 60-something words. It could be worth the mad experiment just to see what the response is like. That's how I'd do it if I was running a car company, which is pretty clearly why I'm not doing that. Anyway, what does Hyundai say about Digital Key 2? Hyundai Digital Key 2 allows customers to integrate their car keys to their smartphone's digital wallet with Blue Link Connect services activated. That's a Hyundai thing where they slut your data out to anyone, including law enforcement without a warrant, I think. This provides the users with the convenience of controlling their vehicle via a smartphone or Apple Watch, eliminating the need for a traditional key fob. Dealers will hate that. Imagine the reduction in revenue from not having to replace key fobs, which are, let's face it, 15 cents worth of electronics and plastic for $1,200 a throw. It's not bad business, is it, really, when you think about it? They say Digital Key 2 allows locking, unlocking and starting of the car with a digital key in proximity. Customers can also share up to 15 digital keys with family and friends using compatible devices. So I hope they have unfucked Digital Key with Digital Key 2, because Digital Key 1 was something of a shit sandwich minus the bread. You know, the setup was a bit of a fail. There was all kinds of poopy and all kinds of trousers there. The Galaxy S22 Ultra and iPhone 14 Pro Max, they both took fairly impressive and odorous dumps in their DACs when it came to setting that up. It was generally unstable and inconsistent. The near-field communication thingo was notoriously unreliable. So I don't know if I would trust just using my phone as my car's key either, because what happens if your phone croaks, you know, you drop it on the pavement and it stops working, blah, 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 and you're in the middle of frickin' nowhere, hundreds of kilometres from home, where the presumably standard key fob is, how you're going to get back and get it kind of thing. So there's that. The other thing about these connected services is that they really need to do better with the privacy policy. I'm not just talking about Hyundai here. I'm talking about all car makers, because, you know, this makes being a hitman or a drug trafficker very difficult indeed. With the connected services, the car always knows where it is and always communicates back to base and can do all other kinds of digital stalking as well. And the privacy policy, essentially, from most car makers, just says, yeah, give us your data, we'll do with it anything we want, you know. So there's that to consider as well with the Digital Key 2. It might be very convenient. I hope it is stable and easy to set up, but when you've got a proximity key, it's also very difficult to have a backup key anywhere on the car because it's in proximity, and therefore the ignition immobilizer is, you know, disabled and the car could be hypothetically unlocked, unless, I guess, you put it in a Faraday cage somewhere, like magnetic Faraday cage under the floor somewhere. I guess that's an option. Or you could just carry the key fob on you as a backup, which, of course, obviates the need for using your phone to do essentially the same thing. If you are using a smartphone type digital key, let me know what you think about that. Anyway, it's good news if you're in the market for a Tucson, because $1,000 to $2,500 lower now than it was kind of yesterday. That's always good. One colour grey up and one colour grey down, I'd call that a nil-all draw. But Tucson and Santa Fe, both fundamentally good, solid propositions, I'd suggest, for mainstream car owners. Hyundai does a pretty good job with customer service and reliability and things of that nature. If you want either one, I'd suggest that we could do better than Hyundai can do at lowering the cost of Tucson, and we can certainly do better with the cost of Santa Fe than the $400 they are imminently to bend you over extra for on it. So just go to the website, fill in the contact form, and I'll help you out with the price if you're in the market for one of those. Otherwise, I'll check you on the next video.